Welcome to Tommy and Dee Hilfiger's 360-degree tour of their amazing French Normandy revival home. The gardens were landscaped by Miranda Brooks. The front of the house is covered in ivy. The front door has flagstone and leads up to the most amazing turreted entry. I designed the grand entry hall to feel very much like an English country house. The walls are covered in Bavarian horns, and the room is centered with a Pusian table, circa 1840. A beautiful Persian carpet lies on the floor with an amazing provenance. This once belonged to the Duke and Duchess of Westminster. Now entering the formal living room. The room is centered by a French fireplace, 18th century, with a beautiful Dutch mirror. If you look up, you'll see there is beautiful plasterwork on the ceilings. This was taken from a ceiling of Hampton Court Palace in England and very much has that Tudor flavour. From the living room we enter the screening room. The walls, ceiling and floors in amazing variety of Turkish prints. This room is actually created because Dee, Tommy's wife, is originally Turkish. The deep Ottoman-style sofas covered in red silk velvet I designed from a visit I had taken to a harem in Istanbul. As we walk back across the panelled hallway, we enter the dining room. Over the fireplace is a portrait of Sir Walter Raleigh, painted in the early 17th century. If you look up, you will see the ceiling again has Tudor panelling. The floor is covered in a beautiful 19th century rug, again with colours that match the tones of the floors, the walls and the wood panelling. The latest addition we designed for the house was the family room. This room is of grand scale with beautiful dark wood beams. The room is also centred with a vintage pool table and a fantastic light by Paul Ferranti. The floors are covered in limestone and wood crosswork. At the far end of the room you will see a Gothic revival fireplace, which is actually French from the early 18th century. We go out onto the terraces. These terraces are set with wonderful wrought iron furniture, whilst above is a beautiful pergola that in the summer is covered in fragrant wisteria. Boxwoods and hedges create delineation with the spaces. The beautifully manicured lawns are interspersed with amazing topiary trees. To the left we come upon the hedged pool. This amazing circular pool is surrounded by deep, comfortable chaise lounges. Walking back into the house, we re-enter the grand hall. The grand staircase has Elizabethan-style linen fold panelling and rises up to a very elegant upper level. Ascending the staircase, we come to the upper hall. This space is now being used as a great gallery. We've decorated it with wonderful 17th and 18th century still life and hunting scene paintings. The Ziegler Mahal rug is circa 1900, and the scale of which manages to warm up and brighten this wonderful space. If you look up towards the ceiling, you will see an extraordinary chandelier set with 4 wooden carved stag heads with real horns bearing light bulbs. Entering into the private wing, this rather more intimate space, which is separated with his and hers dressing rooms and bathrooms, leads you into the formal bedroom, with deep chocolate cashmere on the walls and a beautiful baronial Scottish 4-poster bed, really frames the room and the space. A 17th century crested shield sits above the bed, whilst special linens by Leontine are embroidered with the Hilfiger crest upon the bed. On the far wall we have a beautiful stone fireplace. The staghorn mirror above conceals a television. Cashmere-covered club chairs allow for cosy seating, whilst a crested tray table serves for breakfast in the mornings. One of the most feminine spaces in the house is Dee's closet. This beautiful room is covered in a silver leaf de Gournay wallpaper. But one of the highlights are the busts that house Dee's collection of amazing vintage couture gowns. The ceiling is hung with a rock crystal chandelier that is French, early 19th century. In the window we have a traditional Victorian fainting couch, mounded with wonderful pillows with sayings that are very personal to the family. In Tommy and Dee's son's room, Sebastian, is the most fanciful decor of the whole house. An amazing boat-shaped bed sets the scene for this nautical extravaganza. In the corner, a monumental stuffed toy giraffe presides over all. This wonderful toy adds to the whole whimsy and character of this space. Looking up to the ceiling is an amazing paper that's covered in the actual constellations of the stars. And not only is this paper wildly decorative, at night with the lights off, it actually glows in the dark. Under the window sits a 19th century American chair, upholstered in an American flag. This piece adds great character to the space, but also really impresses upon us this is Tommy Hilfiger's house. We've reached the culmination of this amazing 360 tour of the Hilfiger mansion. It's been my pleasure showing you around, giving you some of the design tips and details, and showing you the way the Hilfigers live in such great style in this beautiful historical mansion.